living in a dream, now my music they be blasting. Step out, I'm a star, always in the latest fashion. Had to set the bar, try to catch me lacking. Bank account for my son, he won't have to struggle. You can see it in my eyes, all I do is hustle. They tried to knock me off my feet, I'm ready to rumble. Feel like I ain't ate in weeks, working off the muscle. Oh yeah, oh my, we ride for my brothers, no lie. All you can die. Yeah, I ain't changing my side. Yeah, we in it for life. I've been magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laugh. Hey, how could you lie to my face? People claim that they be loyal, they be taking up space. See my broski lose his heart when he was fighting that case. Took so many yells, I'm not going back to those days. I'ma treat you how you treat me, do you like how it tastes? Shawty, use up, can't treat you like my ace. I got way too many problems to be worried, I'm straight. Me and Craig had to watch for the Jakes. On the road, this crazy, I get 80 a show. Say my money stack.
I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers and our home team. With that, let's get down to Mexico City. Standing by for the call, here are Senor Gordon and Senor Davis.
From the oldest capital city in the Americas, founded in 1325, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Mexico City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and our home team. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They've been cooking these last couple months. Winners of 7 of their last 8 games.
And if you extrapolate that out to a full season, they'd be 14-2. And anyone in the NFL today would sign up for that.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, they get a stern road test as they come into this one after losing in London a week ago.
Yeah, the schedule makers gave them a pretty tough stretch here. I think we'll know early on whether these guys are ready to play.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section where the columnists write possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. And now the offensive starters for the Packers.
And they come off a tough loss last week, and what's their reward? A second straight road game. Rarely are teams happy about scheduling. They're always calling the league office saying, how come we have this game and that game? But when you're coming off of a loss on the road and you go right into another one, that's a difficult task.
From the 24, Jones. He finds Corey Davis. For only a couple, it brings up third down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. This unit, very tough to throw against. Currently second best in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Now Jones. And he's got him in, Corey Davis. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Packer first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jones, and the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well. Jones heading up here 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. They'll get this out wide to Boyd. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though.
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Now Lewis here on first down. A nice opening right away as he'll maneuver his way up to the 32-yard line. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 9 carries, 74 yards, and a touchdown.
Are we playing old school football now? We got the top 10 rusher in the league. He's sitting at number 10, but he has a chance to move up with a big-time game. So expect that offensive line every time they go to the bench and tell the offensive coordinator, let's run the football.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And this is caught at the 8. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 13-yard gain yet again, just like last play. Operating from the gun, Fields. His pass caught at the 4. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. From 6 yards away, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so, because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
Well, you know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset. at draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for everyone possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the gun, Fields. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. This is Lewis. And an alley to run. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make the score 14-0. A 4-play drive spanning 80 yards. And a long run there in the end to top it off. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script play.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Credit the sack to Shaquem Griffin.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Throwing Jones. Hunter Henry brings it in. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. He has now hit number 500. Charles, that is his 500th NFL career catch.
Definitely worthy of applause, but I remember when 500 meant you were going to the Hall of Fame. Nowadays, in today's football, 500 puts you on the path, a significant number.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 13 yards, 1st down, Packers. Jones now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's 1st down. Going to give this time to the tailback. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Henderson now on 1st and 10. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Now on 2nd and 13. Jones. And this is going to be incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
That's taken in by Henderson. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses, understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So here are the Vikings to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground with Lewis. He'll have a first down past the 40, and he'll take it to the 43-yard line. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Looking to throw. Fields. He finds his target, Beckham. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Fields. It's caught by Funchess. His first catch good for 8 and a first down. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. 2 minutes to play first half. It's 14-0. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. A 2nd down run with Lewis. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get him into a man. Had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Back to throw. Fields. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop.
Everyone gears up for 3rd down, talks about the importance of it. But 4th down, that's truly the moment of truth play, isn't it?
Everything's dialed up a little bit more. And, you know, it's such a momentum play, isn't it?
Absolutely, because it can flip either way depending on who converts on 4th down.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
50, play.
Jones now throwing on first down. And he held on to it too long. A coverage sack. Down he goes. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. 2nd and 14. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
It seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And a return out shy of midfield at the 46-yard line. The struggles continue here offensively. Still nothing for them on the scoreboard, and now an interception.
Yeah, the offense looks extremely sluggish, not really in sync at all. Dare I say, it looks like it got left behind in customs.
Oh, you've had that in your back pocket. You were waiting for that.
Probably should have left it in my back pocket, too.
Well played. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Fields. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Right here.
From the gun, Fields. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
This is taken at the 18. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers.
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we have come to half. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This is taken at the 3. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Looking to throw on second down. Fields. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Let's go, defense.
They'll run on first down. Lewis. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. To throw on 2nd down. Fields. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. And he gets it to Funchess complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Vikings 1st down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st.
He does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Now a run with Cook. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On 3rd down, Fields. Funchess has it complete. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Always important to get the first score of the 2nd half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. And their halftime hole now even deeper. They need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the 2nd half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come. Looking to throw. Jones. He's got his man, Boyd. That one good for 24 yards. Well, they've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep, find some space, and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think.
Let's go, boys. Bring it down. 18 Gator.
First down, Green Bay.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, And then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
55. So we got man.
He gets this one to Boyd. And he'll go down at the 28. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
Check it out, Reed.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Packers make some inroads here on that deficit.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Extra point right down the middle. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. So that drives 7 plays in length. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's up over 100 yards, and he'll be looking to get in the end zone again.
Has a tremendous nose for it, doesn't he? The ability to pile up yardage and find the end zone, that's the combination you want in your runner.
That's a combination any coach wants, and we'll see if he can find that end zone once more.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Shifts by him. That one a first down pickup of 8. So both teams trade touchdowns, and the third is we're through 3 quarters of play. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Back to throw. Fields eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Let's go.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Looking to throw. Fields. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Christian Wilkins able to get in there and run him down for what's going to be a loss of 15 yards all told. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Now a give. Running right is Lewis. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Fields. He finds Beckham complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that, has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented him, and now it's been a real issue for him during this game.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he has the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. 2nd and 13. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Chris Godwin that time. And it's 3rd down. The Packers on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. He completes it to Boyd. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well. Jones now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off. I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah,
that's right. With the Eagles.
That's right. Then against
touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. 40 yards. And the interception by the Vikings D leads to a touchdown. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. A gain of 6 there on first. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to throw again on second down. Jones looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. Now Jones from the gun on third down. And it's complete. Henry. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. An effective 7-yard third down conversion. Here's Jones on first down. Quick hitter here. It's complete. A gain of 6 there on first. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. He was trying to go back to Corey Davis there. Third down here. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
It's caught by Davis. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Jones on first and 10. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. Now the Packers going to burn their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's second and 4. This is caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.